Hi, Leonard. Excuse me. How you doing today?
I'm fine.
Good. It's good to see you again. I know last time when you came in, you had some concerns about your your supervisor at the job. How's everything going with that?
Uh, that's going better.
So, what'd you
Uh,
do?
well,
What did you try? Anything did you do anything that we discussed at our last session?
did some of it, but that person's moving on to another spot, so
Oh, I see.
doesn't mean it won't go away and happen again. But short term, that's not a problem.
Short-term solution, you're saying? Okay, all right, okay. Well, hopefully with the new supervisors coming in, you'll have a better outcome with that supervisor. But maybe from the get-go, whenever your supervisor talks with you, you can bring up to him or her, not only what he or she expects from you, as your supervisor, what you expect from them, as your supervisor. So that may help, the initial phase as they transition in to be your supervisor a little more smoother for you. But I'm glad that it's going well. I just want to, so what's going on now, since you're back here in the office? You know, you have anything that's going on now that you want to bring up or concerns?
So money is an issue, not a big issue, but
So when you say money is an issue, how? In what
money
respect?
is an issue for how much I make, how much money I bring home, and how much money my wife brings home.
So, so sorry to interrupt you. So what's the your concern regarding that? Does your wife make more money than you, or vice versa, or your concern? I'm confused.
Yes, she makes more money than me.
Okay.
Um, that's the way it is. I
And
get it.
how does that make you feel? Is that
I mean, feel fine.
a
Not something you want to brag about to your friends, but that's what it is. But you try to move up and get more and doing a good job, and hopefully you'll get to that same level, and that won't be as big an issue, or won't be an issue at all. I don't
you
know.
said that's not something you want to bring up to your friends. Why is that something that makes you feel somehow insecure because your wife makes more money than you? I'm confused.
Not insecure, but
The-
the typical American family is
So kind of
working family. Both people work and both do, where one brings home a whole lot more than the other. Not nothing's wrong with that, but I guess it's an ego thing. It messes with your ego, makes you feel.
so some sort of role reversal that you're not comfortable with because you said the typical American family. You're saying you think the husband is supposed to be the breadwinner, make more money.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that's what I'm saying without saying it.
Is that how it was in your family? Is that
Uh,
with your mother and father? Did your mother work? Your father? Was your mother at home? Your father the breadwinner, and that's why you feel that way?
I grew up in a single parent household,
Oh, okay.
anyway, so
Oh, okay.
there
Yes.
wasn't really two incomes. There was only one income. So that wasn't something that came up or really knew about. It's just I don't know. It's cultural norms, if you want to call it that,
Okay.
especially in the black community.
Oh, as far as what? Can you
Well,
explain
black
more for me?
males are looked at a certain way, uh, lazy, don't try as hard, want a handout, and where today the black female is very highly educated, is doing great things, nothing wrong, but culturally it is how do you say, I don't know, it's not a slap in the face, but it plays to racial stereotypes.
The, the fact that
The fact that
the black male is.
He's working, but almost relying on a spouse for the big dollars, to be able to take the nice trips and to do all the stuff people want to do. Where you say, hey, can you do that? Well, people who know how much I make will say, you can't afford that. And, well, my wife can. That's kind of taboo, sort of, so to speak. Again, it's stereotypical, but it's also, you don't want to play to the stereotype and feel like you're that guy.
Okay.
Sugar mama, if you will.
Can't say I've heard that before, but okay. So what's your what's most concerning to you right now? You're here to tell me that you are uncomfortable with the situation, or you can you explain a little more to me why you came in today? And I appreciate everything that you said, about what stereotypes are out there in certain cultures, and and I definitely can understand that. But what's most important to you for why you're here today? I'm not minimizing what you just said, but how can I help you with your concern?
I don't want to be satisfied. I got a good job. I make good money, and I do good work.
Yes.
But there's got to be more. There's got to be ways to get more. Whether that be, I don't know, techniques to approach management about a raise or a higher position, just proper, appropriate ways without alienating your current workplace to move up the ladder.
So you're interested in trying to find ways to excuse me, make more money at your job,
Ways
get a
to
pay
make
raise,
more
maybe?
money without seeming ungrateful, I guess you could call it. Don't want people to look at like, oh, you don't enjoy working here or whatever. I want to move up that ladder. I want to do bigger, better things, and of course, with that, have more responsibility and make more money. I don't want to be stuck in this position, and I don't want to leave the company either. But I hope my hand doesn't get pushed or forced me to that, and I don't want to come off as I'm trying to do that.
Oh, so you feel as if you went to your supervisors and, said to them, hey, I would like a pay raise, and somehow they would um, retaliate by saying, oh, well, we can't afford that, so
Right.
we're going to let you go type
It's
situation?
possible.
Okay.
I've heard that happening before. So, right, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. So what are some of what do you currently do? I'm sorry.
I currently work in a hospital
Okay.
in a sterile department.
Okay.
So, I take care of all the instruments, turnover, and repackaging, and that's a pretty critical job. But there's more above that. I've been doing it for 5 years now, so it's time for something new. Again, not leaving, but something new.
So right now, where you currently are, there's you have a supervisor, I'm assuming. So are you saying you would like to possibly one day a supervisor type role? So are you content with where you work, or are you thinking that maybe you want to look at something else besides where you currently work? I know you said you want to make more money. You feel like you want to ask that question. But are you content with where you are with progressing in a role, or you altogether don't want to be in that particular, you know, job, and would be more satisfied somewhere else in another job, making more money.
No, I could be in the same
Okay.
job, but the pay has to match the work.
Yes.
Every year, the demands go up. So when you increase my demands, you increase my workload.
So
You're
the pay-
asking more of me, but you're not willing to
Pay.
up my pay, and that's bothersome.
Have you had the opportunity to progress in your particular job? Have there been, openings for you to?
There's openings.
And have
I've
you applied
applied
for those?
for other areas in the same hospital.
And how did that work out for you?
Still here.
Okay. Did you get close, or did you get any
I have
feedback?
no idea.
You didn't get any feedback from those who?
I don't think it works that way, but I don't know. A couple of times got an interview and some progress, but in the end it turned out, no, we selected somebody else.
Oh well, I'm sorry to hear that. And you've done this how many times now?
I shouldn't count. I'm not desperate, but
So I can see that.
I'm qualified, so where I'm qualified, I'm gonna apply.
And I can see how that could be a little discouraging if every time you apply, you feel somehow if you didn't get approved for the job or accepted for the job, you may feel a sense of rejection. And okay, all right. Well,
Where my wife, I'm sorry, where my wife is progressing well, getting higher positions, making more money, and it's a lot of stress, but it's also coming.
what's coming up?
Well, she progresses. She applies, and she's been able to move up that ladder and take the next step. Again, a lot of headaches come with that. Be careful what you ask for, but you never know until you get to that position.
Okay. Well, so with everything that I'm hearing, you do like where you work, right? You enjoy what you do, and you said it was in sterilization
Yes.
at your job,
Yes.
and you've been there a while. You applied a few times to progress to a higher position, and so far you haven't been successful at doing that. Have you tried anything at your job as far as do they have how is your are you having any issues with your resumes, how they're being submitted, or have you ever had anyone take a look at those for you? Anybody, maybe someone at your job, could take a look at some of your resumes that you submitted and see if there's areas that maybe you need to improve or add or take away. Maybe it's, not enough in your resume for a particular position. Um, let's see.
I do have a resume. Maybe some touching up. I guess since you mentioned it, it could probably use a few other sets of eyes to put some pointers and such in there. That's not something I've really thought about, so that's
Okay.
something I could certainly look towards doing. Maybe that would help.
Okay. All right. So on the one hand, you feel you're not progressing as much as you like. You feel like somehow it's a stereotypical thing for a black male, who's um, as you mentioned earlier, you felt like as a black male you don't want to be that particular stereotype in your community. And so you're being rejected, you feel like it's somehow, um, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Minimize.
Well, no, that's not what I was saying. I understand what you're saying when you feel minimized, but um, in other words, just you don't want to be the typical stereotype. You want to be, the breadwinner in your family. You um, do you feel any sort of insecurity because your wife makes more money, or you're comfortable with that? Your wife doesn't come home and throw that in your face, or she doesn't do anything like that, or make you feel less than of a man for that reason.
No.
Okay.
It's frustrating when you keep getting rejected. You're trying. Maybe some people say, "Oh, try harder." How do you do that?
And when you do, and you're saying when you do that, you still get the same result.
I believe that. Maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe I'm going about things the wrong way. Maybe there's things I haven't tried.
Okay. All right. So on the one hand, you want to move up, but on the other hand, as you continue to try and move up, all you feel is rejection because you don't seem to be climbing the ladder as fast
Right.
or as quickly as you would like.
Right.
And so, okay. Well, so what do you think you can do to what do you think would benefit you in moving up, moving faster? Are there any ideas that you have that you think can help? I mean, I already kind of talked about maybe the resume. Have you had anyone, review your resume to see if it fits those positions that are higher positions? Do you have the skills that are needed to move into a higher grade, a higher position? Because even though, we can all move up if we, as much as we want to, but if we don't have the skills to do it, then obviously that, can keep us back. And so is there any additional training that you need to do or take or that you've asked about that can improve your skills that you can later put on a resume to make you more of a, you know, uh, a a an applicant that they see that has everything that's needed to fulfill a certain position. Because maybe it's just one thing. Maybe it's education. They want this person to have a bachelor's in sterilization. They want this person to have gone through a certain sterilization course. To improve their resume. And so maybe that's something that you need to find out if that may improve your chances of getting the job that you want in a position that you want.
Yeah, so a lot of that, which is probably good advice, you got to take tests, get these certifications.
Oh, so there are certifications.
I'm not great at testing. I don't know if there's tips or such that make a give, but testing is. I think that might be something that's keeping me from certifications and those things. Like I know the job, I know how to do it. Why do you take a test for it?
So you're saying you may have some test anxiety and whatnot?
Maybe.
Okay.
Probably.
All right.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, there are some different uh, assessment tools that clients can use to you know maybe reduce their anxiety when they have to take certain tests. There's also job inventories, because I know why you say you want to improve and you want to move up in this particular job, sometimes there are assessments or tools out there to test a client on how they may do, say, a different area that you may be surprised that you have interest in. So different job inventory tools. Because although you like sterilization, I think last time we talked also, um, didn't you have a degree in communication or something?
I do.
And so, but you have no interest in doing anything in communication?
Well, I do, and I'm trying to apply for those, but I don't have any experience in that area, so
So you're kind of near the same.
the run around with, well, we'd love to hire you, but you don't have any experience.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the experience if you don't hire me.
Okay, I see. All right. Well, um, let's see. All right. And that's true. That's a true statement, and I'm sure that's very frustrating when as you said, a lot of people they go to school for years and they get their degrees, and as you said, you can't get any experience if you're never hired. So, okay. So let's see if I can kind of. Just, you know, um, go back to, why you're here, what your goals are for today, um, what we can do possibly to help, you know, you get a higher paying position. If that's your goal, that's what you're telling me. That's why you're here today. You're frustrated because you keep trying and you somehow are falling short. And so you just want to know what types of things you can do to minimize your anxiety. If you have to take tests to progress in the job that you're currently in, and uh, let's see. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes. Okay, just bear with me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to pause. I'm losing my train of thought. Mm-hmm. No, so okay. So I think, uh, one of the goal that we should set is probably for you to, you know, possibly take a test taking class, so you can work on the anxiety that you're feeling. Okay, a couple of goals. Um, look into taking a test taking seminar or class. Okay. Also, you know, I highly recommend maybe a job, inventory. Again, I know you said you like what you're doing currently. The job inventory just kind of shows your your interest, and I know you said you're interested in communication, uh, and that particular, maybe on that job inventory, that's exactly where you need to be, But even though it's for, communication, if you're always having an issue with, uh, tests, it doesn't matter whether you're taking a test for sterilization or whether you're taking a test for something in communication. If you're anxious about it, we want to make sure you're comfortable for when it's time for you to say take a test in that area. Um, Also, let's see, we talked about job inventory. Uh, oh, the resume writing. The resume writing. Let me just write that down too. You may want to, look into a resume writing class to improve your writing skills. So the next time prepare your application, um, and I would definitely have someone that you, maybe a mentor, someone that you trust to go over that application, before you submit it. So it never hurts to have another set of eyes on that. But you definitely want to know what is required of that job, obviously before you apply, because again, there may be a skill or a degree or a certificate that may be missing from your resume, and if you know all that prior to submitting your resume and you've taken care of all that, obviously that increases your chances of getting that particular job or position, and that can give you some sort of, you know, um, comfort in knowing that, at least you have the skills, because right now it sounds like you weren't sure if you have everything that you need. So, okay, let's see. Alright, so we talked about the resume, job inventory, test taking, class. Okay, so I think those are is there anything that you think of, that you can think of that um, that will help you improve your chances of a position that maybe I just did not think of, you know.
All those things are things I can look at and see, especially the resume one. Having people review it, that's not something I thought of. So I think we'll start with that.
Okay, and there are many other, job inventory type assessment tools out there, and so um, I'll try and find some that I can refer you to look into. Many of them you can actually go online and take yourself, self-administer. Some, you may have to go, and see someone like myself and have me oversee it while you take it. But there's many out there just to get, to pique your interest in what you, may be interested in, what you may be more geared to learning or doing or have interest in and so forth. So, but there's many online, and then again, I can just probably provide some of the information for you at the end of this session. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. I think that is pretty much what. So I think that's pretty much what we're going to just wrap this up with for the day. Okay. So.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, Leonard, it was good to see you again. Thank you so much for coming in. We'll kind of
all right
bump hits through the COVID right now, but all right, and we'll see you next session, okay?
All right.
All right, we'll follow up with you then. You have a good day.
You too.